Well, hello everybody. Hi. So, it's a fine day today, and I, every day I get some ideas. Uh, I want to key out. This is the orbit thing. I'm in orbit, means I'm kind of a little bit exterior. I don't know how this is gonna last, how long. But as long as it lasts, and the purpose and the goal is a very big one, I hope I can keep up, because I have all these cognitions coming to me, and of course all this traffic, and we're not getting any help. I'm not saying I am not getting any help, because I'm getting some help, but we're not getting any help as a team. So, twisting my wits, I said, okay, Theo, what's to be done next? Not on course, on Facebook. What's to be done next on Facebook? This is the era we're living in. We have a Facebook. We're not close to each other anymore, and this is a big barrier. Only OTs can surpass this barrier. Okay? So, we have underestimated this messed universe big time. And of course, Miscavige also, as I wrote in a comment, took our shovel. And what's the shovel? Ray says that in Orgord and Livingness, which is the reason I'm talking to you today. This lecture by Ray on the briefing course, I think it was 4 April or something, 65. The Orgord and Livingness. And he says that if there is no organization to back you up, if there is no organizational shovel to back this up, he doesn't care, he says. Read the quote underneath. How long? 2 years, 10 years, 1,000 years, 1 billion years, you're gonna find yourself in a theta trap, and you won't even remember to do an 8C or a touch assist, whatever he says there. And this is what's happening. I'm drinking beer. It's my only process. You know that. I'm not gonna, hide or say or things. I said people might think, oh, Theo is drinking beer and he thinks he's in orbit, and now he has this station #1 thing, and he hasn't done, as somebody told me from Australia, his girlfriend saw the video and said, oh, well, nice video, but you need to have cut your hair here. I mean, these people have no clue where they are and where they have been actually. Of course, they don't know where they are, but they don't know where they have been. They have been in Scientology. They have tons of misunderstoods. Onup, Barman Roy, I don't know if I pronounce Onup correctly, has been stressing, and amongst others, has been stressing, some technical things here. And Onup is the one guy, that he is like, okay, well, that makes sense, talking about misunderstoods and things and stuff, and I don't see many, like commenting and saying things, and everybody has his comment. Yeah, but I'm going downtown and I'm starting nattering. But anyway, I'm not gonna natter today. This is Orgord and Livingness. I'm going to try to concentrate as much as possible and as much as I can put my wits there on Orgord and Livingness. Every Scientologist should have read that and understood that. It's amazing to see such a crucial organizational policy and lecture, and it's not known. Ray says that this is the cycle from raw meat to OT, and I can tell you I have applied it, and now I'm not raw meat anymore. I have applied the Orgord and Livingness. I have applied it to the Sea Org in the central files of Astro. I have applied it in my work here, but in this world you cannot do much. And we are 1,000 people around, and we're fucking around. We cannot even get in line. Give back to LRH what is worth and due, at least. If you feel like, what's the tone level, propitiative or something, or, no, I don't remember the tone level right now. But this is probably on the second page of the tone scale. If you're somewhere right there, please check these tones and give back something to LRH. If you don't feel that you do it for your children, you do it for yourself, you do it, for everybody else. Because I'm doing this for my conscience. And my conscience contains a lot of things lately. I used to suffer from these consciousness attacks. Okay? Yeah, and conscience, sorry, I mix up the words. Conscience attacks. So I used to suffer from those conscience attacks. And a month ago I said, fuck it, I'm gonna create something with admin. And here it is. And here is LRH with Orgord and Livingness, and we're gonna be discussing, whoever wants to be discussing on this, because it's an out point that Scientologists for so many years who have dropped out of the bridge and of course the church, they never listen to that tape, or they haven't cleared it, they haven't understood it fully, because I repeat, it's the cycle of raw meat to OT, meaning that this is the cycle of action you take when you come into Scientology and when you exit Scientology, because there's gonna be an exit point, there must be an exit point from this nightmare, because sometimes it's a nightmare to me, to have to wake up and say, oh, the Earth admin thing, am I in orbit or not? Of course, I'm not doing it, just, hitting myself. No, I like that. I really do. But I would like to see people respond, I mean, where are we? I mean, we have the internet, we have Facebook, we have this, we have that. Of course, everything is lost because we're lost in technology. It's difficult. There's so many data coming into you. There's such inflow of data every day that it's very difficult. I can understand that. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take time until you put aside all the added inapplicable stuff. I have started doing that, and I can see a little bit better. Of course I drink my beer, of course. I can't do without it. I'm sorry. There's no, in the horizon, I don't know if I can show the horizon here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, here's the horizon. All right, yeah, this is the horizon. Well, it's blue, it's fine, but I can see anything, nothing, all around. It's just blue, it's a nice color, it's a nice planet, it's a nice theta trap. It's very nice. And you suffer every day. I mean, I do. I have these conscious attacks. I tell you, I don't know about you, people usually have heart attacks. But thetans don't have heart attacks. Thetans have conscience attacks. Alright? Let's see this. And after conscience attacks, you become, completely like numb. Okay, what was the problem? I think we found the problem, and the problem has been admin, and the problem has been organization. So we're gonna be dealing with Orgord and Livingness. Bear with us. I think there is 3, 4, 5 people who can understand that. And if you want really to move from raw meat once again to OT, this is the route. It's the org board, it's the organization together with the auditing. Together, these are combined, and with the ethics, of course. And together with the mission tech, because that's also something. But that's up the line. let's at least get together and see what we could be doing. We're gonna be, I wish there was going to be word clearing. That would be great news for me. Somebody word cleared, somebody on the org board and livingness, somebody read it through and asking some questions or understood it. Well, if they understood it, they would be here. If they had understood it, they would be here. I can guarantee you that. LRH was here because he had understood. I mean, if he hadn't understood, he would be very happy because he wouldn't be there at the time. But he had understood, so he had to do it. Okay? I don't care about my haircut. This is not the 50s. We're like, okay, this is the 2020s. Okay? I think that, appearance and stuff like that, we should be a little bit ahead of that. I'm not saying that I shouldn't be taking care of my appearance, but somebody commenting to me like about my hair on such a video, I think it's like a little bit of an outpoint. People are off purpose completely. They are lost. They are lost in Australia, they are lost in New Zealand, they are lost in Canada, they are lost in the US, they are lost everywhere. They are lost in Greece, like me. We're all lost. Where's our power? Well, Miscavige took it. He made sure he took the shovel, from us, which is the organization. And he's the only one holding the organization, and he's building the ideal orgs, beautiful palaces of implants or whatever, cathedrals and stuff, Is this the HOPL ideal orgs about cathedrals and all this richness and stuff? Come on. I mean, I know this is tiring. I know for some people it's very tiring, but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because you have been there. You have been there in the church. You lost the church and the whole philosophy. It became just a church, and the organization, the org board, became a church, and your admin became Facebook. And I don't know if you're happy with your life, it's fine with me. Those who are unhappy, please join. Those who are happy, please leave. Because, this is, this body is 60 years old. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Maybe this purpose is gonna keep it for another 20 or 30 years. Maybe, and this is the only fucking purpose that's gonna keep it. This is the only fucking purpose that's gonna keep it. It's not my children, they can live their life. Whatever they're gonna do with the AI. Well, maybe this is boring. This is like a sermon of a church. Okay, go to Miscavige and listen to that sermon, or go to Justin Gregg and see, the new technology, ladies and gentlemen, and he gives all these misunderstoods, nobody can, nobody. Only a small group of people can understand what he's talking about. Fine, and where are they? Or they're gonna come after 10 years, after the planet is destroyed. You and me have the power. LRH 1.0, and there is no other LRH for the moment, has given you all the legacy that you needed, to get. And that's all the legacy you needed to get. It's the Scientology thing. And we start with Orgord and Livingness. I hope some people are going to help. I hope some more people are going to read through it. It's 21 pages. It's not easy. You do that on the EPF, on the Estates Projects course, when you're entering the Sea Org. I've done it a couple times, but I reread it, word cleared it, tried to understand every word of it and get a concept, because I didn't want to be raw meat. And it has, directed me to a direction that up to now never betrayed me. It's a very, very basic thing, and when you start understanding the departments and the awareness characteristic of each department and how they align and they go one after the other in line, then you will understand what is your next step to be doing, even in a cycle of action or in a broader action or something. For example, like LRH mentions that, and I wanted to be more specific on that, well, a good auditor can recognize a condition, and recognition is department 1, and conditions is department 19, but it's previous, division 7 is the first division, that, hopefully, and then you have division 1. So department 21, 20, 19, the conditions, is next to recognition, department 1. And LRA says, if you care to read, and listen to the lecture, that a good auditor, when he recognizes a condition, what does he do? So you see, department 1 recognizes conditions, department 19, that's what Earth administration is all about. At least nobody can blame me for that, because I recognized what is the condition. And now what am I trying to do? Communicate, department 2, so as to have what? A perception, department 3, so we can have orientation, understandings, 4, 5 purposes, or enlightenment as it's called now. I don't know, it's changed. Department 4, 5, 6. And then after enlightenment or purposes, you get energy. All right, you get into division 3. So you see, this is, if you clear that up, and if you read the factors, you will understand that this is the same sequence. In the beginning was a cause, and the whole purpose of the cause was to create an effect, or whatever he says. Okay, and the first action is to take a beingness. I don't know that verbatim, but this is it. This is source, existence, conditions. Okay, and then you have recognition and blah blah blah, communication, and thus there is energy, and thus there is light, or thus there is light first, he says. I mean, the factors, they follow the org board. This is the basics of the basics of the basics that every auditor on this planet, if he had it right, if they had it right, they would be ahead of me, on Earth administration, I don't know which number, and they would be saying that, because that's a very, very basic. Scientology is not like some cult thing. It's a science. It's a science. Read the factors, see the org board, read the org board and livingness, and you will understand that there's a consistency in that. And if you can read through the letters, and you can see, you will understand that the org board is, the factors, and the org board, and, the gray chart and the bridge, they all follow a pattern. And this pattern is the road from raw meat to OT. But you have to put it apart. And what does an OT do? He knows all this stuff, and he does that in seconds. He knows how to do that in seconds. I don't know how to do that in seconds, but I know how to do it in months. And I bet you in months, Earth administration number 1 is going to be different. Because we're applying org and livingness, we're applying for the first time, earnestly and sincerely, and I thank those people who are helping me, especially Onop and Patricia and Jonathan and a few others, who are next to me. We're applying this amazing piece of tech. Do not let Miscavige take this organizational shovel, or whoever else, Justin Gregg, take you away and say, oh yes, now we're gonna have technology 50.0. No, they don't even know 1.0. I do not claim that I know more than 10% of Scientology. But with this 10% that I know for sure, You know, factors, org board, gray chart, bridge, everything is the same. Oh, this is like a, wow, this is like magic. It works on everything. Yeah, with this 10%, I can guarantee you, even though I'm not highly trained as a tech auditor, they're highly trained tech auditors, and we're together with those guys. We're allies. Trey Lowe's, Patricia, Scott Gordon, so many auditors. I don't know, maybe others wanna join. You know, Chris Black, maybe he's gonna see that we're not non-standard here, but we're not orthodox, you know, orthodox. We are getting this tech, you know, and we apply it to 2020. It's the year 2020, all right? It's the age of, I don't know, space age soon. You know, we're getting robots, we're getting AI, we're getting all these things. And where are we? We're like in the 20th century? No. I was the one who said about the translations that they should be, you know, verbal, because that's what the LRA's tech was. But I wouldn't insist on having these reel-to-reel tapes. I would say put them, you know, on an iPod. You know, but they need to be verbal because that's what the boss says. So you have to put your wits to 2020 and understand that we are, of course, nobody is forced to do anything, because I know you're tired. I'm tired too. You know, I can do reach and withdraw. I can, you know, because that's what a good auditor does. A good auditor, you know, I'll tell you now something. And if you had read your org board and livingness, but you want it, you know, like ready on your plate, okay, you can have it. I said, this is gonna be free. This is gonna be free. It's my understanding and it's my conscience, and you know, I'm not gonna carry all those overs of omission with me when I go from here. I'm gonna pass this over to whoever understands. So what does a good auditor do? You know, he communicates, but then the other guy doesn't get it, and he communicates again. So he reaches, and you know the elasticity of flows. If you don't know that, well, find out. Ask somebody, because this is very basic things in Scientology. If you don't know what's the elasticity of flows, and if you don't know how to use reach and withdraw, then you're not really a Scientologist. You're in kindergarten. You know? You're in kindergarten. You haven't graduated kindergarten. All right. So, elasticity of flows. The auditor reaches and the guy doesn't get it. So what does he do? Oh, he has to withdraw. Yes, of course. Someone knows that. If the guy doesn't get it, you have to withdraw. Of course. I mean, pretty basic. But what is he doing? You know, by communicating, he's trying to communicate the condition. So the condition is recognized. That's all I'm trying to do, is to communicate, to get the condition recognized. But the guy doesn't get it. So what does he do? The good auditor, he withdraws and puts the communication back, because he doesn't want to lose the guy. And if he doesn't withdraw and put the communication back, but keeps on pounding on the head of the pricklier, the pricklier is gonna explode. So the auditor needs to go back, withdraw, and put back the communication. So you're playing with the org board. You just don't go to recognize the condition, but you go now to communication. I think the org board goes back and forth. I think the org board, I never saw this from LRH, but I think it goes back and forth, because he says that in org board and livingness. If anybody wants to comment on that, if everybody cares about these little details, which are major in life, like you talk to your child and he doesn't get it. What do? Pounding on his head? Hit him? No. You withdraw. And you say, okay, I did this, he's gonna get it maybe next time. So you put back the communication department too. And then when the communication is back in, and it says in Orward and Livingness, you then again try to communicate to get the condition across so that he recognizes the condition. Why is the HCO starts with recognition? Because if you cannot recognize a condition, you are insane. What is irrationality? Irrationality is the inability to recognize, there you have it, recognize and meet the counter effort. But first is recognize. An ACO recognizes the condition. Is this guy out ethics? Okay? Ethics. Or, hey, this is a good guy, let's recruit him. Or communication and everything like that. So don't tell me about my hair. Clear up your misunderstoods. Damon from Australia. Because I'm not gonna be good with people here. I said this can be and should be light, but it can get hard. It can get hard because I see that people care about the hair, not about the message. So why do we call ourselves Scientologists? We put this thing here and we say like, you remember those pins in the church? The pins? Huh? Yeah, we put another pin here, and I saw Brezhnev, you know, the other day, this Russian guy used to be the president of the Soviet Union or whatever, the High Commissar or whatever he was called. And he had all things, you know, on his uniform. Is that what we're doing? We want to be called Scientologists because this is a title. It's not even a title anymore. It has become shitty, very shitty, because people have misapplied the technology and they don't know the basics. They don't know to withdraw, or they don't know to reach, maybe, in the correct way. All right, to me, it's not a burden, but it's not also, you know, a walk in the park. It's not easy for me. But of course, I want to get this off my chest, all those things, you know, that I know. Like, a good auditor would communicate so that the guy recognizes the condition. And then, this is it. If the guy can recognize the condition, you have it. Right there. The guy is going to communicate with the condition. And he's going to have some perception. And it goes like that, you know, all up to department, I don't know what. All right, so that's probably a long talk, and it's not a LRH talk. It's not even a Justin Gregg talk. Okay, but what's this talk all about? Referring you to source. It's a live message. It's a live terminal, you know, Earth Administration referring you to source. Now, do I get your attention? Do I bore people? Well, tell me. But don't tell me about my hair, please. Tell me something else. Tell me something that should be corrected, because I don't think we should we deal with, you know, with hair, as we say in Greek, you know, triches means hair, you know, this thing. I think we're dealing with something more important here. And if you don't see it anymore, I'm sorry, it means that you went back. You went backwards. You've lost your purpose. And you need to get your purpose back. You need to get your purpose back, and I don't know how this is going to happen. It's not going to happen by me pounding on you, of course. This is why I said this should be light. But whoever are coming closer, you know, policies apply. You know, things apply. I cannot be doing this alone. I cannot be, you know, like, okay, I can do a talk for an hour or so. I don't mind. I hope there is something to it, though. I hope to get, like, not just likes, but hey, you know, Theo, I'm gonna read Orward and Livingness. I never read it, so I'm going to read it. Because all this thing is about Orward and Livingness. Believe it or not. It is about Orward and Livingness. And I'm amazed that people do not even know it, or have read it and forgotten it. For Christ's sake, how can you forget the cycle from meat body to OT? Okay, you don't know the cycle, but how can you forget it? You must put your attention on the important things. And this is the simplest, most basic of basics of the road to OT. If you don't know that, maybe you aren't like making progress in other areas in life. I made some progress using it. Not much, but I did in a crazy world. In a rather crazy world. It doesn't look like a crazy world, but it is. It is a very crazy world. It is a very crazy world, and it's going crazier and crazier. Alright, so Orborn and Livingness, I hope we're gonna be discussing it. I hope people are going to join in the conversations. There's already a few comments by me on this. I hope others are gonna comment on it, post, say things. And this is hatting. Another big thing neglected. Oh, I read it. Yeah, right. You read it, but you had so many misunderstoods that you couldn't even understand it, much less apply it. Alright, so this is why administration. I wish I had a good hatting officer. He could have done a great job. Anyway, I'm not gonna go on shame, blame and regret here. But there's gonna be others. There's many. The unknown Scientologist, as I'm gonna be saying, from now on. Yes, the unknown Scientologist is the one who appears and who knows stuff, and one day he appears and, a whole division, a whole department, whole section, unit, whatever, brightens up. And he becomes a stable terminal for that. Well, that was not my postulate. That was LRH's postulate. Yeah, I share it. And it is my postulate now. So I carry the torch, and you can help carry the torch because it's a kind of heavy torch, alright? And it cannot be carried by 1 or 2 or 3 or 10 or even 100 people. More are needed. More are needed. But we're not forcing anybody. We're not forcing. We're not forcing like Justin Gregg forced people to follow him. No. No, you can belong to anything you want. We're open. We're administration. We're up in space. We have a lot of space. Oh boy, another great lecture from LRH. PDCs. I think it's 35. That's another one. That's a great one. DEI scale. Awesome. That's another, that's tech a little bit. I love tech. That's an awesome one. DEI scale, desire and force inhibit. How you get from desire down to enforce, down to inhibit. Like any cycle takes that sequence. Desire, enforce, inhibit. Well, I know better than that. I hope I stay on desire. I hope also you guys help me out and keep me at desire. It's nice windy now. Hey, yeah, it's nice and windy now. Yeah, desire, ample space. I'm gonna upload this lecture. That's another one I read and I was like, oh my God, so much space. When you're at desire, the space is incredibly big, huge space. And then you start going down to enforce, like Earth Administration #1. LRH, KSW, Seorg, Miskavitz, oh yes sir. It's a good thing I think I drink beer. I don't care who is gonna watch this video. I don't really care. Tone 45, the one who knows all agreement and does nothing about it. Well, at least I can do a video, and I don't even know all agreement. But DI scale from PDCs, I think it's lecture 35 or something. It's another awesome one. Awesome. Awesome, because when you are up there, high tone, you know what is an overt from the viewpoint of an OT? It's described in there. I should be letting you with some mysteries. I think I'm saying too much. I'm talking too much. Yes, tone 45, and what is an overt from the viewpoint of an OT? You don't have that definition. I'm sure you don't, but I do. That's why I'm here. You know? Because I couldn't commit that overt. I don't know, maybe it takes me 10,000 hours of live Facebook things. I can get 5 people, good. They cognite, good. That's all I could. I already said, whisper it to your sons and your grandsons, and you're not even my sons and my grandsons. So I don't have too much responsibility, except that those conscience attacks have been hitting me hard on the head and the heart, and I couldn't do otherwise. And because it's I like. Because it's I like you, I really do. Whatever you have done, and you're doing, and you're gonna do, and together, and I admire you. Oh, how could we get in this mess? Even for that I can admire you. You agreed to this mess, and I agreed too. So that's a reason to admire you, you know. So I think we have some weapons. We have some stuff. Yeah. Apart from the beer and the cigarettes. Okay? Yes. This is another one. PDC lecture 35. DEI scale. Awesome stuff. Now, whoever is smart will be getting this. Big time. Yesterday. Because that's how you make it to OT. Certificate or no certificate, I don't see anybody flying out of their body, actually. I never saw anybody come to me and say, hey, Theo, you're doing good, you know. I'm OT 57, and I wanted to visit you and say hello. I don't see. No, and I don't see this huge expansion. Yes, there's people who work diligently and rather effectively, but on the fourth dynamic, it's all COVID now. Where's the Scientology thing? Nowhere. Where's the Theo? Nowhere. Where's immortality? Nowhere. Where's spirituality? Nowhere. Nothing. It's COVID. COVID, 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 masks, AI, you know, robots now. That's all. So where's the spirituality? Nowhere. So we're not making it exactly, right? We're not. I'll be honest. We're not making it. And you know, we're not making it because we didn't do our homework. We didn't study some stuff. So it's time to study it. I know my tone is not the best. But that's all I can do, guys. You know? That's all I can do. Otherwise I sit here smoking cigarettes and saying nothing. Maybe you prefer that, but some won't. And if you prefer that, then understand that this is reactive. You should right now disabuse yourself of this reactivity and all this charge and say, hey, I want to do something. I'm going to do something. That's all that's needed. Carry a little burden on your shoulder. And it's not big deal. You're at your home. I'm at my home. We have Facebook. We have all this woke technology that they gave us like that. How would it be without Facebook? The church split everybody apart. There's no internet. There's no Facebook. Scientology would be dead. Now we have this tool, but it's just a tool, and it belongs to the Department 2, Communications, through Facebook, and Division 6 maybe. Do a little chat and some lecture or type of speak like I do. Okay, so that's all. Let's carry on with orbital liminess, and we'll see about the PDC, because that's tech, and I promised admin, but we're gonna see the tech too. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.